Hello everybody, I'm Logan Crawford. Welcome back to Fresh Outlook. It is time for the lightning round when we explore the week's top stories in lightning fast fashion. Say hello to our Fresh Outlook think tank. Dr. Bart Rossi, political psychologist; Jeanette Hoffman, Republican strategist; Paul Levinson, media professor at Fordham University, my alma mater, as is Dr. Bart Rossi's alma mater. Let's look at our top stories. Katrina, a decade later, among those talking out about this horrific tragedy that killed 1,800 people a decade ago, is the President of the United States. Take a listen.
Today, this new community center stands as a symbol of the extraordinary resilience of this city, the extraordinary resilience of its people, the extraordinary resilience of the entire Gulf Coast and of the United States of America. You are an example of what is possible when, in the face of tragedy and in the face of hardship, good people come together.
Good people coming together. They're right here, right now. Bart Rossi, tell me about Katrina a decade later. Have we learned anything?
I think we did. I think we learned a lot about immediate response, how to really tackle a problem like this. I think there were so many mistakes made, and the president at that time didn't really even want to fly over. He wanted to leave it to FEMA, and I think we need hands-on approach from the president on down. We've learned that. And I think in the future, when it comes to tragedies like this, we are going to be more well prepared. I actually think that Sandy was an example of us coming together and working more effectively as a result of Katrina, probably.
Paul, your thoughts?
I think we've learned and have been reminded of the cruel fact that nature is in many ways still our worst enemy. You know, it's not all beautiful summer days, and it's been this way throughout human history. More people have died in earthquakes, floods, disease, epidemics throughout history than in any human-made disaster. And so we have to be ever vigilant and use our technological prowess a lot better than we did 10 years ago.
Yeah, I think emergency preparedness, no one predicted Katrina, just like no one predicted the impact of Sandy, but we know that these storms are getting worse and worse. And are these homes along the Gulf Coast, are they resilient enough if another big storm hits? And what's next? And I think, you know, our nation's leaders need to consider that.
Absolutely. 1 billion people using Facebook in just one day. This has become commonplace. I check my Facebook like I check my email maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day. I, in fact, look at it as almost open email, where I'm sharing my photos and my thoughts with a group of people as opposed to an individual. Doc, what are your thoughts on the ubiquitousness of Facebook?
I think the psychology of this is really all about where we're going. Where are we going as a country, as people? And this is it. We're going more and more in terms of communication, internet, Facebook. It's just going to be more and more of the same going forward, and I think that's what we're all about, more technology.
Doc?
I check Facebook hundreds of times a day, and my email too, and I think it's great because human beings want to communicate. We want to be heard. If we take a picture, we'd like everyone to see it. If we have a thought, we'd like everyone to know about it. And Facebook and Twitter, like never before in human history, have given just about every human being on the planet a way of doing this.
Yeah, I love social media. I can't imagine my life today without Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. However, as a parent, I'm a little nervous. You know, all this social media, everything's out there, every aspect of your personality. For one, I'm kind of glad I didn't grow up and go through high school and college with everyone seeing every picture from every party and knowing all this information. So, with the benefits comes some consequences.
Well, I think people have become more literate, that they're being a little more careful about what they post on there. They've read the horror stories of people denied jobs because they had pictures of them drunk on the internet. So they know what's out there is out there forever, so people are a little judicious about it. But there's definitely a dark side to this social media as well. Look no further than the Roanoke shootings and the infamy that sicko sought when he posted pictures himself. Let's go to the next topic. It's called electromagnetic hypersensitivity syndrome. Okay? Some parents are suing a school district, saying their kid gets headaches because of the Wi-Fi. You know what I say, Doc? I say this kid's probably crazy, and the parents are too. What do you think?
I think there are too many parents that are helicopter parents. They're warriors. and they move to the extreme. They want to blame the school for whatever. A lot of these parents, I think, ought to take more responsibility themselves when it comes to their kids and stop blaming the school or whatever for this.
I've worked in TV stations
crazy.
for the last 4 decades, and I got to tell you, a common call from crazies is, "You're killing me with the waves you're sending me into the house." And they'll call up, "You're killing me. Why are you sending those waves into my house?" For some reason, schizophrenics are afraid of waves. I don't get it.
Well, listen, there used to be reports, I haven't heard any recently, that the act of watching television messes up your brain and your brain waves and all kinds of pseudoscientific studies. I always said when I saw that I've been watching a couple of hours of television a day since I was a little kid, and as far as I know, my brain waves are okay.
But we're going to talk to you after the
normal.
show, Paul.
Maybe
In fact, we've got a session set up with Dr. Rossi.
We've got a session set up.
We've got the couch in the back room. Don't worry, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, you know what the most telling thing is about this story is that the parents are suing for a $250,000.
Right.
Give me a break. Take him out of the school if he gets headaches.
Exactly.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, just send them to private school or
Unbelievable.
something, or put
Yeah.
them on an island where there's no Wi-Fi. I have no idea.
Put 'em in a bubble.
What's he going to do in a hot zone? What is he like at Starbucks and say, "Oh my God, Mom, they've got Wi-Fi in here"?
Give me a
Who
break.
knows? Give me a break. Exactly. Awesome sauce, rando, and hangry. Those are new words that are recognized as words in the dictionary. Doc, what are your thoughts of our expanding vocabulary?
I think we're going to have more of the same. I think it's going to happen where we communicate because of Facebook, because of where we are in the media, what we're influenced by every day. I think new words are going to come up. They're going to be kind of creative. I think it's kind of fun.
Okay, Paul, I got to tell you, because you're from Fordham, I'm from Fordham.
Yeah.
When I was beaten by the Jesuits and the Irish Christian Brothers, if we used any of these words in our writing,
Right.
we would be backhanded in the face.
I teach a writing workshop course, and I encourage people to use rando whenever they can.
Or rando.
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 Yes. So, because that's part of life. You know, language evolves.
But language has changed, but
That's right.
education has changed, though, because we were discouraged about using colloquialisms in our writing. If we started a sentence with "and,"
Yeah.
the nuns would come by and crack our fingers with the ruler.
Today's
right?
colloquialisms are tomorrow's classics.
Yeah, I mean, they're in the dictionary, and I love the word hangry because
I'm
it's
hangry.
I'm angry and I'm hungry and I'm cranky.
Exactly.
It's a fantastic word. And also selfie, you know, new technology. Selfie made it into the dictionary last year.
Exactly.
Which, you know, 10 years ago, who the heck knew what a selfie is? But we're taking them all the time.
I wish I had brought my list of words. I would have quizzed you. Okay, so
Another is
rando.
shelfie, by the way. You know what a shelfie is? You take a picture of your bookshelf, and you can show the world what books you read.
Yeah, that's a dying breed. Not too many people reading books.
What's a
Okay,
book?
the voices in my head are talking to me. What words do you think should be included that aren't included? What are some of your favorite words that you've learned through social media? Like I said, random was big. A lot of people were saying random for a while, and now it's become rando. Hangry is hungry, angry.
Right.
Selfie. Now, where have you heard this shelfie thing, Paul?
I saw someone say, "Here's my shelfie," and it ran a chord with me, so I immediately took a picture of my bookshelf, which was it was actually even worse than just a shelfie because it was a bookshelf with my books that I had written, so which in many ways is even truer to the selfie origin of shelfie. But it was a great way of getting your images out there.
Our next topic is a klutzy kid in China who fell and tripped and landed in a $1.5 million piece of artwork and ripped it. There he goes. Boom. Oh, sorry about that. And what's on his hand? Does he have something on his hand? Looks like he was carrying a drink or something, right? Or a can of soda. Looks like coffee. It looks too young for coffee. Maybe it's Coca-Cola. What's your thoughts?
I think people love to see this stuff. People love to see people fall down. They like to see action like this, and a painting that's $1.5 million. I mean, I think it's really funny for a lot of folks, and it is. And so it's a good laugh.
It's performance art.
Exactly.
This is why I keep my children away from $1.5 million paintings.
Exactly. It's interesting that this valuable piece of artwork wasn't put behind some kind of protective
Right.
glass or protective covering, but it wasn't. It does seem like there is an appetite on the parts of some people to see accidents, falls, people being scared. I mean, that's
Oh, yeah.
a big thing on Facebook now. What are your thoughts? Why do we love watching it? If somebody's getting scared by like somebody running down the street in a panda suit or something, I
Because
think
it's
hysterical.
funny. It's hysterical. It's the unexpected. You don't expect somebody to come out screaming or trip, and it's it's gone back to the days of Candid Camera and America's Funniest Home Videos. We
I
love
think you
it.
took the words out of Paul's mouth.
No. I was going to say there was a movie, I can't remember the name of it, but it was about prehistoric man and the origin of humanity, but it was a comedy. And it showed some like early, I don't know, Neanderthals or Cro-Magnons sitting under a tree. And on top of the tree was another early guy who threw a coconut down and hit one of them in the head. And they all started laughing.
Right.
And that was proof that they were human.
It still sounds like Mel Brooks, but there is a dark side to humor. People like things that are...
Yeah, I think people like to get out of their everyday routine, the serious stuff, and they like to look at what's funny about themselves. It could happen to me. I could fall down. I could be stupid, and we could laugh about it. And it's probably a good thing.
It's fun when we look at yourself like other people do. That's a Candid Camera song. Bart Rossi, Paul Levinson, Jeanette Hoffman. I'm Logan Crawford. Thanks for joining us here on Fresh Outlook. See you next time.